What if I told you that the most successful people in the world collect rejections like trophies? In other words, they build amenities to it. Here's a mind-bending stat. The average top-performing salesperson hears no 38 times before closing a single deal. Yet 92% of salespeople give up after just 4 rejections. Are you quitting right before your breakthrough? The science behind. Why rejection literally hurts. Did you know that rejection activates the same brain regions as physical pain? UCLA neuroscientist Dr. Naomi Eisenberger's groundbreaking research revealed that social rejection triggers the anterior cingulate cortex and right ventral prefrontal cortex, the exact same areas that light up when you burn your hand on a hot stove. That means that your brain can't tell the difference between a broken bone and a broken heart. This explains why anthropologists have found that humans have an almost desperate need to belong to social groups. Throughout history, rejection from the tribe meant death. Your brain still thinks a no in sales could kill you. Jim, a brilliant engineer who nearly quit his sales engineering support role after his first month. The damage? 47 consecutive rejections during cold calls. He was physically shaking after each no. But here's where it gets interesting. His manager made him listen to recordings of their top performer. Plot twist? That sales champion averaged 38 rejections before each sale. The revelation that changed everything. What Jim thought was personal failure was actually normal. 6 months later, Marcus became the second highest performer on his team. The secret? He stopped taking rejection personally. What would happen if you reframed every no as progress toward your next yes? The rejection paradox. Why top performers seek out. No to build immunity. Here's what separates the elite from everyone else. Professional salespeople view rejection as a good sign to advance the sale. Think about it. No objection means no engagement, which means they're not even listening to you. Objection means they're considering your proposal, and now you can address their real concerns. Specific objection means a roadmap to closing. They open up and tell you exactly what needs fixing to win their business. Here is the shocking truth about rejection rates. Outbound sales reps experience 60 to 90% rejection rates. Yet the top 10% of salespeople make 60% more calls than average performers. Elite performers see each rejection as 0.03% closer to success, which means they close 1 in 30 prospects. The objection is the only road that leads to conversation, and conversations lead to opportunity, which leads to closes. So, are you avoiding the very activity that could make you successful? Here is the rejection resistance formula. Question: what if you could build immunity to rejection like a vaccine? Here's the strategic approach that transforms rejection from fear into fuel. Phase 1. Start small, win big, begin with warm leads, which gives you 70% less rejection anxiety. Call existing customers for add-ons, which means an 85% acceptance rate versus 15% for cold calls. Practice with low-stakes scenarios. First, Phase 2. The rejection ritual. Create a personal system that celebrates rejection. Log each no as a data point. Celebrate milestone rejections, 10th, 25th, 50th. Extract one learning from each rejection, write it down, and create 3 responses that will target that same rejection in the future. Phase 3. Reframe the sales game. Top performers ask themselves, what did this rejection teach me about my prospect's real needs? How can I improve my approach based on this feedback? What objection pattern am I seeing that I can address proactively? The million-dollar question: if you knew that your next breakthrough was exactly 10 rejections away, would you make those calls today? Of course you would. And because you don't know, assume that you are always 10 objections away from your next close. Keep at it, and you will soon start winning, because practice makes you better. The mathematics of success is brutally simple. More rejections mean more opportunities, which leads to more sales and more success. Your rejection challenge. Know that rejection is the only way to success, and rejection is the practice you need to master to make money. To build stronger muscle, you will need to lift heavier weights and do more repetitions. The equivalent of weight in sales is objections. The more you add to your repertoire with answers, and the more you hear them, repetition, the stronger and closer you become. Watch what happens when you start celebrating the no's instead of fearing them. The bottom line? Rejection isn't the opposite of success, it's the raw material of success. What rejection will you collect today?